Wow. Sorry about that, guys. Do apologise. Very unprofessional and rude of me. Very unprofessional. Don't want to mess people about. Thank you very much if you do decide to jump back on. And I love you if you don't. So there you go. This is a confusion of YouTube. Yes, Amanda. How you doing? Oh, just had a phone call. I wouldn't say it's an important phone call, but it's important news. Jesus Christ. Yes, we're back, Martin. Yes. I'm sorry, it was my wife. I shouldn't be telling gossip, but the inside scoop is bleeding hell. Positive energy, positive vibes, yeah. I'm thinking on a negative level because my wife's kind of pecking me head, yeah, because I'm doing a stream. Shouldn't do it. Shouldn't have thought like that. She only rings me up and tells me that she's got a promotion. Boom, 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 boom. She's got a promotion. It's unofficial yet, so I can't be saying anything, but my bloody God. So, positive waves, positive energy. That phone call has given me another boost. It's like, yes, well done. Well done. And I must say, yes, Darcy, back again. Congratulations to my wife for being so lucky for keeping hold of me for 26 years on the 10th of February, just gone. For being so lucky to be able to be still married to me for 16 years. Get on that shit, pardon my French. So she's very lucky. She's very lucky. That's all I'm saying. We're back. Lucky wife. Stop, I'm dying here. Mate, you know Darcy, you know what it's like. You know what she's like. We love her. She's a beautiful lady. But don't talk football or the narcissist comes out. So she's lucky. She's lucky to have kept hold of me. Yes, thank you, Martin. Yes, thank you, Eunice. Thank you. Big loves back to you as well. It's been a very, very satisfying relationship. And you know what? I've got to give her props again because she never really stifles me on doing this, even though it's been so intrusive. It has been so, what is the word I'm looking for? Consuming for me. As you know, I've lived and breathed it for the past 3 years. So you can imagine how that's kind of took over my life in many ways. I kind of put my DJing to one side, all that kind of stuff. Even Darcy's father, who I know very, very well. He knows, I very rarely get to see him and the music and all that kind of stuff. But it's been so satisfying. But my wife has never, ever, she's just left me to it, yeah? Even to the point where I went to see Roxanne the Globalist in Aya the other week in town. She was giving me big hugs, and as I was going, she said, you tell your wife that she's an amazing lady for allowing you to do what you do and not giving you grief and blah, blah, blah. And I went, oh, thank you, Roxanne, that's brilliant. I come home and told the wife, you know what the wife said? You know what the wife said? Talk about a feel-good moment. Yeah, I only do it because I want to get rid of you. I thought, nice. It's a good job I understand banter. She is a diamond, Paula. She is a diamond. She is. And she puts up with me, so she's got to be a bleeding diamond, hasn't she? So yeah, that's her. She's got her own little positive thing going on down there at work. So congratulations to her. And thanks again for jumping back on. Positivity, restoring itself. Right, so without further ado, if you was listening to the first section of the stream, I was just about to play this video, okay? So if you don't mind me kind of shutting up for a little bit, I'm going to let this video just play. And if I feel it's really necessary, I will interject. Other than that, I really want to kind of let it play because I want to see if this resonates with you in any way. And then I'll try and do a little bit of a talk and then I'm out of here because I need a bath. And I'm sure you guys have got shitloads to do as well. Pardon my French. Right, so here we go. Afternoon, Matte. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on. Thank you very much. So here we go. The screening of Empaths and Narcissists by Dr. Les Carter.
Would anybody anybody ever describe you as being friendly and helpful and encouraging and tuned in to the personal dimension? If that's the case, it could very well be that you would be called an empath. And actually, that's a very good thing to be called, at least in my opinion. In fact, we can pick up on the word empathy, which is a very non-narcissistic word. And the empathizer is somebody that's willing
I
and
can
able
see
to
your
get
messages go,
inside
Mike.
another person's mind and heart and understand the world from their perspective. That's what empaths do. And that's, like I say, that's a very positive trait until the narcissist shows up and begins thinking, now, what can I do with that person that's going to make me feel better and going to help my quality of life? And usually that's not a very good thing for them to be thinking that way. Keep in mind that the narcissists tend to be exploitive. They tend to be highly controlling. And so what I want to do in this video is I'd like to talk about what it means to be an empath. And I'm going to give you an H.
Right, sorry, I had to put in there. So he's just describing a narcissist there and the traits of a narcissist and how they apply themselves to whether you call yourself someone who's an empath, a vulnerable person, not necessarily, but there are vulnerabilities by being what you regard as an empath. That's what he's really going to go into. Now, what I want you to think of while he's talking about this, as well as whether it applies to you, as to whether it applies to the disparaging things that are going on. Now, you could apply the narcissism angle to crime, so various manifestations of crime, domestic abuse, sexual abuse, even abuse that is committed but then is blamed on ideology rather than the narcissistic individual that is of a certain religion, whether that be Islam, radical Islam, whether that be Catholicism, whether that be none of them. You could actually be an atheist but still be just as narcissistic as a Middle Eastern or a Catholic priest who wants to take the living soul out of an individual by raping them, or any form of rape, any form of domestic abuse. So shut up, Phil, let it carry on.
Checkpoints, and then to figure out how you can make sure that you are aware of the pluses and minuses of that kind of
Sorry, camel piss flavor. You calling Jose Mourinho a narcissist?
quality of life, so that you can stay on the plus side, not the minus side. Now, before we get to that, I do want to make you aware of the fact that we have some books available to you, some resources. If you'll look below the video, you'll find that I have some links to a couple of books. One of them is my book. It's entitled When Pleasing You Is Killing Me. And if you have any inclination toward the empath side, I really encourage you to get that book, because frankly, that book is written directly to you. And then a second book is entitled Ugly Love, and it's written by a partner of mine, Laura Carranza, and she talks from the position of somebody who's been through some narcissistic circumstances and has lived to tell about it and has some very interesting experiences to tell you about. And I think you'll find both of those books to be quite helpful, particularly regarding this subject. And then, of course, we would encourage you to subscribe to our channel, so as more videos come up, then you'll
I would as well. And I'll tell you more about that
what
later.
What does it mean to be an empath? Let's go there first. And I have eight points that I want to just go over with you rather quickly here. And I want you to just kind of place a check next to each one of these to see if it relates to you. 8 indicators that...
Right, sorry, I've got to go back here. Someone's getting called out. Of course, if you had real empathy, you would not have made me jump out of my skin with that awful bloody music. I don't know what you're implying there, but my music is the shizzle, okay?
You might be an empath. Now, the first one would certainly come as no surprise to anyone. The empath intuitively picks up on the inner feelings and perceptions of other people. Empaths are the kind of folks that when you say something to them, they hear behind the scenes. For example, if you say something like, I went to my mother's house and visited her for the weekend. And then...
Right. So, when someone brought this up in the stream the other day, I agreed, because I'm not blowing smoke up my own arse here by any means. I'm not saying, oh, this makes me a brilliant person. what I'm saying is there'll be a hell of a lot of you guys that will be just the same on here. Hell of a lot. Now, a lot of people say, Phil, you're a good interviewer. Yeah, you know what? I've got a lot to learn. Fucking hell, interviewing's not easy when you really do it. But the beauty is, I treat them like just normal conversations. Now, with that, what I do with any normal conversation, I get into the meats and bones of what they're saying. So if they're explaining a certain scenario, whether it be positive or negative, my spirit is affected by that, or at least that's how it feels. Now, that doesn't mean that if that person's explaining to me about being raped, that they're bringing me down. No. What it then does, it makes my emotional level go to their vibration of what they are talking about. So essentially, when I am listening to them, I feel like I am feeling their emotion of what it is they're trying to tell me. So then when I get into them realms, we can then get on a true connection. Personally, I feel when I do it, I do it well. And when people reciprocate with that, you have such an invisible connection just via a conversation. Yeah. And that can leave you with such a high, knowing that that individual has just had a conversation with you where you feel they've truly listened, they've truly felt what you were talking about. They wasn't dismissive. They wasn't trying to dismiss your actual point. They were just trying to understand and coming from that position. So I'd like to say that this first point here, this is definitely me. I'm going to put a fucking big green tick on that one. Pardon my French. Right, let's carry on.
And the empath is remembering, oh, yeah, you told me about that before, and she's been dealing with some real health issues. So how was that? And was it going okay? And they kind of get inside your world real quickly, and they want to know that personal connection.
Thanks, Dave.
That's a very positive thing that they do. And that's something they do on many different fronts, and they do it quite skillfully. Number two, empaths tend to be very sensitive. Now, we can say that what I just mentioned about being able to read other people's moods, that would be part of their sensitivity, but there's a backside to that as well, and that is empaths tend to feel their own emotions, and they feel the emotions of others in a more powerful way. They're impacted very strongly by the feelings of other individuals. And so their emotions can be kind of at the very front. If somebody's hurting, they feel it. If they hurt, they feel it much more strongly. If somebody is angry, it really gets to them in a way where the thick-skinned person might just shrug it off. The empathy doesn't shrug that off. They have a very delicate, sensitive nature, and when they feel something, they tend to feel it more down the spectrum than the average Joe or Jane would. Number three, empaths have a true passion to be helpful. And it's one thing for someone to say, hey, can you help me out? And you say, yeah, sure. The empath, it's like they get their sense of meaning from that. They really enjoy finding out what other people's needs and desires are. And it's like, well, now that I know you better, then I know how to make your life go a little bit more positively because of my presence in your life. And so they like seeing themselves as being helpful. And they're the kind of folks that help out in the kitchen or with little kids, or if there's someone that just seems to be down on their luck, then they're more than happy to go in that direction.
Or holding a YouTube channel, going out, filming out disparaging shit, what's going on in the planet, coming down on a humanity level and try to help people, helping PAG, helping other people. When you hit the like button, when you put out a positive comment and you try and reach out in a positive way with people, that's what he's talking about.
Very helpful. That's just a central part of their identity. A fourth ingredient, and I actually like this one maybe the most, I don't know, but empaths are deeply moved by beauty. Now, when I say beauty, that covers a wide array of things. Now, obviously, we can appreciate nature and the beauty of nature, and empaths can enjoy that thoroughly. They can just sit on the back patio and enjoy watching cardinals jump through trees, or taking nature hikes, things like that. They enjoy music or drama. They enjoy the arts. And so anything that has to do with the aesthetic side of life, typically you're going to find the empath over there either.
Right, Voodoo. You and your bleeding blonde fetish. You nearly got me arrested and you're doing it again. You're using a little, what is supposed to be a little bit of an incy-bincy spiritual moment, and there you go with your fetish. How can I throw a fetish out here? Let me find a little avenue. 2 blondes. Very cryptic, but everyone knows where you're going with that, Voodoo. Rein it in, mate, and go and see a counsellor.
They're actively participating in that. Many of them tend to be artistic, or if they're not artistic in their skill set, they still appreciate what that can produce and what they're able to enjoy. Number 5.
Yeah, something going on there, Voodoo.
Tend to be drawn towards spiritual themes. Now, you've probably heard the phrase spiritual but not religious, and I guess I'm kind of leaning in that direction with this. When I talk about having spiritual themes, what I mean is the empath likes to think through the question like, why are we here? Or what's the meaning of life? Or what's the nature of love? Or
right. This is why another green tick's got to go on here. Jesus Christ. You know when you feel a video speaking to you? I'm not trying to grab something here. It's like speaking to me. If anyone has looked with anyone, I guess, when No. Right. I'm not going to cut off again. Seriously. The house has to be on fire before I'm fucking cutting this off again. So, anyone opening up a YouTube page, they have a little statement, a little comment. If anyone wants to look up my comment, seeking the purpose of my true existence. That was it. Because I don't know. There's still, the ultimate question is, why the fuck are we here? Never mind why do we pay taxes. Never mind why we're going through depopulation. Never mind why have we got narcissism that then rubs off to crime, abuse of all different types. Why the fuck are we here? That is the biggest question for me. So that is really what I set out to achieve by opening up this. You're no victim, you're the survivor.
Or how can I understand what the big picture is as to what we're supposed to accomplish in our time on earth and dedicate my life towards that being something? How can I make a difference in the world a better place? And so there's a very deep need for meaning and purpose that they like to anchor down in. It's not just something that, they don't do things because that's just the thing you're supposed to do.
Who's on the Anunnaki tip there?
They genuinely want to plug it into a rationale that guides them. Number 6, the empath tends to be very available to the underdog. There can be plenty of times when you'll wonder, well, where did that person go? And you find out that they're over there taking care of somebody that's in a wheelchair or a little child, and they're giving them some direction, or someone who may be very new to a situation, and there's a group, and then one person seems confused. The empath is going to be the one that goes and helps that person. Anyone that seems to indicate I'm struggling or I have needs, the empath says, good thing I'm here. I'm glad to be of assistance to you.
Now, isn't that the whole purpose of being on YouTube? Isn't that the whole purpose? Not about money, not about ego, not about celebrityism and all the traps and trinkets that it can provide. That is the most beautiful thing. He's on YouTube now. What's he doing? He's not doing it to make a wad of money. He's trying to explain to people that are going through shit in the brain of why you're going through that. And that will help people to then better themselves, their lives. That is the purpose of people who should be doing the right thing, opening YouTube, creating content. That should be the eternal message behind it. Now, whether that means that there's not enough empaths and there's too many fucking narcissists that do this shit, I've no idea. And I know, Voodoo, you brought up that point before, so I am watching the comments. But this is beautiful. This is goddamn beautiful.
Now, number 7, and this wouldn't be very shocking to you, empaths tend to be idealists. They perhaps perhaps one of their favorite phrases is, why can't we all just get along?
Boom.
They have many good ideas as to how life can be, and they like to focus on goodness and love and joy, and they just want you to be able to focus on that too, and that's great as long as you're able to cooperate with them, but sometimes that doesn't happen. And then number 8, and this is kind of an interesting angle because it kind of pulls back from all of the first 7, empaths do have a need to be alone. Sometimes they can invest so much of themselves and so much of their psychic and emotional energy into people and events and causes that they have to pull back and charge their batteries just with a slow day or an evening at home by themselves, or where they're not bothered and all of that. So
that's another green tick. Seriously, when I get emotionally kind of overloaded, all I want to do, don't want to answer my phone. I become semi-ignorant in a sense, not because I'm doing it on purpose, because I have this urge just to get away. And it doesn't mean leave the house. I still have to function, still have to go to work, still have to pay the bills. I just want to get in my own space. I want to get on my decks. I want something to take my mind away from it, that is positive, that is going to lift me again, free my spirit a little bit. Another bleeding green tick.
Many times they'll treasure their downtime. Now you look at that list of 8 and it's like, it's pretty good. In fact, I like being around folks like that. But then here...
Right, hold on. I'm just going to break this. Did anyone see Black Van Man get headbutted by the so-called Patriot? What the hell's that? What? I shouldn't have broke this stream with this, really, because it's going to now send this stream into it because it was on its own path. But are you saying that Black Van Man's just been assaulted? Is that verified, or is that Chinese whispers? Can anyone verify that? What Patriot, Martin? I've not seen. Brexit night. Watched it. What? It wasn't really a headbutt. This was on Brexit Day. It happened 2 weeks ago on Brexit night. So who was it by then? Was it after I met him? So at night time, a few weeks ago, when the bloke ran back and grabbed his phone. What? What fucking gone on here? So was this someone, who was it? Was it a lefty, or was it someone he was filming who was a Brexiter? Does anyone know that? The Patriot was a complete wanker though. He was brilliant. The old Bill were gonna nick the bloke, but Black Man said no. Voodoo put the vid out, bud. Right, I've not watched it. I've not watched any channels for some time. Some Patriots could be racist or something. We are here to work around. Yeah, we are. Sorry if I just wanted to get kind of clarification on that. What? Right, so turn the camera. I'm going to go back to this in a minute, but I will say this. That is bang out of order. I mean, I've met the guy. He's a lovely guy. He doesn't seem to impose on anyone. I've got more of a gob than he is in terms of that, but even I do it with a good spirit and a good whatever. I'm a bit sometimes in people's faces, and the kind of the way I come across, people can interpret it like that, but I never try to intimidate people or confront people or get on that energy level where we want to fight. It's just sometimes the way I come across. I'm a bit hands and a bit, like that, but I don't mean anything by it. However, when I met Black Van Man, he was a lovely, genteel individual that has got honest, general questions. I don't agree with his direction, but it's none of my business. Best of luck to him, and I hope he's all right. The fact of the matter is, he's now in a precarious situation when he's filming for people, try to be unbiased, but yet he's now getting attacked of people. We can expect it from the left. Are we to expect it from just anyone now? Is this narcissistic behavior again coming out? I mean, what's going on here? The guy's being an independent journalist, and he has to really be subjected to what? Now, I can imagine that Black Van Man didn't instigate any violence. I can imagine that whatever happened, it sounds like this individual could not handle his emotions, and for whatever reason, he's decided to physically violate. Why should a YouTuber go out of his way if he feels that there's a threat that's on the horizon of people doing that? You can, and you will. It will be a risk of getting it from the left, the mad left. But what is striking about this is that it seems to be from, yeah, you can put it down to a nutter, right? Same again. Is that sweeping it under the carpet? Is that nutter should not be held accountable? Now, brilliant for Black Van Man for not. I haven't seen the attack, so I don't know how severe it was. I don't know whether I'd be that charitable. Because I'll tell you now, if I'm walking the streets and some dickhead does that, for me, he's going down. I'm getting his ass arrested. Only because when you're doing that, you're essentially trying to be an empath. You try to provide information. You try to do the right thing. You don't expect narcissistic behavior. You don't expect people to lose the shit with you and then start being physical or call your names. Even calling your names. People just expect you, it's like, no, it's not. It's not right. It's not right. Because just because you've got freedom of speech, it don't mean you can call me a cunt. It don't mean that then you can go and visibly give me shit over there. Have some goddamn decency. Seriously. So I personally hope, I'm sure he is, he come across that he was a bit thick-skinned, Black Van Man. I hope it is. But it'll be a learning curve for him. It'll be a learning curve. And the thing is, the question he's asking, right? The question he's asking for the white population is the white people in this country have got a right, which I fully agree with that question. I personally think by him asking that question, that is going to be a question that's going to come back to his door once he's gone on that journey. I don't think he realizes it yet, but once he gets called not English, then he'll realize that that question ultimately comes right back round in a circle on him. And that's the worry I've got. We're going in that direction, but best of luck to him. So if he's had a guy that is a white individual, that he's now, Black Van Man as a black individual, a mixed race individual, going out of his way to pose a question for a demographic that is white, indigenous white, whatever you want to call it. But yet that guy cannot intellectually see that and still, for whatever reason, attacks the man that is trying to help him. That's me shit. That's my shit. So I hope Black Van Man's all right. I hope he's cool. If anyone does get to go on a chat and speak to him, just give him my love, yeah, and blessings. Right. Thank you, Martin. I just thought I'd have to say that. Right, here we go. Try and get back on course here now, because that obviously was about a narcissism, and isn't it funny that we're talking about that?
Here comes the rub, and that is when you are an empath, the one kind of personality type that you have to watch out for very carefully is the narcissist. Because keeping in mind what I said a little earlier, the narcissist is on the prowl. They tend to be folks that are looking for someone who is vulnerable to their
voodoo. You need a bucket of cold water, mate, or you need a sock, some fucking toilet roll, a quiet little area for yourself, and one or two 70s magazines, yeah? Go and deal with it, and then come back, yeah? Get it out your system. It needs to go, my friend. You've got some urges that are coming to the fore there. You know what I'm saying? Keep your blondes away. Before I get my holy water out.
Controlling kinds of ways. They just absolutely love finding people that they can pull in so that they can have dominance over them. And the empath, who's not terribly dominant or overwhelming, seems to be rather easy prey
Yep.
to the narcissist.
Yeah.
And so let's look at some of the downs.
Now, that doesn't make you soft. See, have you ever heard that saying, your niceness can be taken for a weakness? Is that really trying to say that an empath, is that explaining an empath? So someone who is perceived to be nice, who is not perceived to be confrontational, who is not perceived to be controlling or obsessive, that can be perceived as a weakness. So then people who have got more of them narcissistic traits within them, they see that as a vulnerability and how they can exploit, or maybe jealousy, maybe envy, because they don't have and possess them traits within themselves. So the only way they can satisfy their own soul is bringing down someone of that ilk. So same again, you could be 6'6", have muscles like Pluto out of fucking Popeye, pardon my French, but yet still be an empath. Still get hurt when someone, a narcissistic motherfucker, is on your back. So narcissism and empathy is not defined by muscles. It's not defined by if you can kickbox, because you could be one of the two and be one of the two. I've seen both. Gentle giant. What is a gentle giant? A gentle giant is surely an empath, but yet the average person, if you was to see him walking down the street and you did not know him, unfortunately stereotypes would kick in and you would assume that fucker is a narcissist, because look at the size of him. He shits me up. You know, I'm crossing over the road. He could put me in his bleeding pocket.
Side to the empath, and then we'll draw a couple of conclusions.
Yes, Styles. Yes, Nikki. Yes. Nikki, the inspiration, Lockett. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Just watching with Darcy, looking forward to the interview. Mate, you've just let it out the bag there, dude. You've let it out the bag. Seriously. That was just going to be rolled out at a point of my choosing. But that's fine. I'll let you do it. I think you are entitled to let everyone know. So I would like everyone to say a big hello to one of Manchester's most prolific rappers. The one, the only, Nicky. Don't fuck about Lockett. The man himself. I haven't officially met him yet, although I have met his other half, who I know very well anyway. And through that, we've managed to secure an interview. So thanks, Nicky. I've now got to tell everyone, you know what I mean? What it is, I'm going to do an interview with Nicky, and even Nicky don't know this, so I'm now going to give the full bleeding thing out. Nicky comes from a certain area. Nicky is a certain demographic, and Nicky has done what he's done in his life. And Nicky, no doubt, as a human being, has experienced all kinds of shit, whether it be good or bad, right? All being that he's a demographic, all being that he's lived where he's lived, right? I'm not going to give too much away there. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to interview someone else who's been just as influential in the Manchester music scene as Nicky Don't Fuck About Lockett, right? Who is of a different demographic, but has been born and bred in the same area as Nicky, that's probably had the same strifes, good or bad, as Nicky, but I would like them both to actually analyze it through their eyes of their own demographic, whilst looking at it possibly from the other demographic. That's the shit I'm on with. So what it's going to turn out to be, it's going to hopefully turn out to be a fat-ass interview, very informative, with loads of music, loads of talking about what Nick has been doing, what he's doing now, where he's come from, all his inspirational moments, right, interjected with a little bit of whatever. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with this other individual. So I'm hoping that I can be able to put both interviews side by side, that you can look at it and go, right, two individuals that fucking killed it musically in Manchester. They both come from Moss Side. One's white, one's black. Right, let me see what's going on here. So, what do you think of that, guys? Yes, I thought so. Yes, Roxanne, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. So yes, Nick, thanks for jumping on, pal. And I am looking forward to that interview. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be quite invigorating just to talk about something that's dear to my heart as well, sir. You know, the music. We're both closely related when it comes to the music that we've probably has influenced us over the years. It's very apparent that we've both gone in totally different directions, but ultimately in directions that's very satisfying to the soul. So I want to hear your story, sir. I want to hear about all the dust junkies, about our 808 state. And what I will say as well, it's a very small world, because what I do know, Nicky, is that a lot of friends that you still move with are my close friends as well. And I had this chat with Darcy the other day, and I was looking up just a little bit of you kind of past on the net once I realised that I may be interviewing you. And I realised now, when it became apparent, that you've done a lot of work with 808 State. Small bleeding world, but Andy Barcott and Darren Partington, two members out of 808 State, they actually taught me how to DJ. So that is a very small world. They used to live in Ancoats near the club that it used to be a Salvation Army. And I used to just literally be, I'd have like a ghetto blaster, and I would manipulate recording music by using a tape recorder and one turntable to kind of get a digital delay on certain tunes. And I managed to compile a whole tape doing this. Andy Barker and Darren Partington listened to it, and at that time they were DJing at a club called the Salvation Army, and it was all electro music, all that kind of stuff. And they said, dude, do you want to teach you how to DJ? I'd never done it before, never worked a pair of decks. And these weren't SL1210s. These were like your, hey, pop picker kind of two decks and a flight case. Honestly, they didn't have pitch control. They didn't have fuck all. So you would take sort of like literally a bottom run, but you somehow manipulated it. And yeah, so long story of saying, dude, we've got a lot of connections there that's been in the background. And it's funny. It's so funny. And I think shit happens for a reason, pardon my French. You know, me meeting Darcy, me having a conversation with Darcy, me doing what I'm doing on YouTube, me flipping out the other day, and me now doing the narcissism, which really I'm trying to say in a nutshell, it was relative to why I flipped out the other day, you know? And then the fact that narcissism is really guilty for 98% of the shit that we go through in life. And that's really what I'm trying to say. Higher frequency, yes. Yes, Martin. Right, so anyway, not long left. Let me carry on with this.
Like I say, they're vulnerable to very controlling individuals, and they tend to get caught up in that. Empaths have a hard time saying the word no. They're so into the agreeable side of life. They like being helpful. They like being known as a yes person, that when it comes time to say, no, I'm not going to do that, it's all.
Believe me, if someone said to me now, mate, can I just shove something up your anus? I'd be saying no. There'd be no fucking empath then, you know what I mean? Maybe the narcissist would come out of me. I'm sorry, but I had to say that.
Because it's like,
Do you mean you can't say no, Martin?
I don't want to get you mad at me, or maybe nobody else is going to be around. And so standing up for themselves by saying, that's not going to work for me right now, or I can only do it for this period of time, but no further, can be a bit difficult. And then it wouldn't be surprising for you to know my next point, and that is empaths can at times be susceptible susceptible to guilt, and in fact, they can be motivated by guilt because they have such a strong sense that says, I know what's right. Keep in mind that idealism. And I know how things ought to be, that when they bump into some things that are not going to play out in an ideal way, they can feel guilty as if it's their responsibility to make the world go well.
Yeah.
For example, let's suppose that there's just been a bad discussion at home or among friends, and you didn't have real good understanding or coordination that happens because of it. The empath can walk away thinking, well, it's all my fault. Well, maybe not. But the narcissist, knowing that the empath can be motivated by guilt, is more than willing to...
Right, someone's just put up there, Dan W, I always thought empaths were is that supposed to be science? A science fiction thing? Well, Dan, listening to this guy now, what do you think? It does. This is what I mean. Empath is a terminology that people have never. It's not like a household terminology, is it? You know, it sounds like a very high frequency kind of terminology, and it explains someone who is in the 1% of 1% of 1%. And what I'm saying is, no, if you've got a heart, if you give a shit about what's going on in the world, you know, your niceness is used as a weakness. If you kind of get on into that, you feel that you're that, are you an empath? You know? If you feel that the very negativity that comes against you is narcissism, you know? Mystic Meg, sci-fi. So you still think that there's no reality to this? Is that what you're saying, Dan? There's no basis to being an empath. Thank you, Martin. You know, I'm not trying to input anything. I'm not trying to tell people the fucking empaths. I'm just saying, do you relate? Do you resonate? So, resonate. I mean, what's Dan doing here? I mean, do you have to be spiritual to be an empath? So, are you being very scientific? I don't know, mate. I've only been here 5 minutes. Killer line, Dan. Right, keep watching, mate. Fucking hell.
And so the empath is going to have to understand the distinction between true guilt and false guilt. Sometimes you need to feel guilty if there's something terribly wrong, but sometimes just being different doesn't mean that there's a blameworthiness that's there, and the empaths have to come to terms with that. All of that said, another thing that's on the downside of being an empath is they can be susceptible to emotional fatigue.
Fucking boom, biggity boom. That's all I'm going to say to that.
That doesn't come as a real shock. Sometimes
feel worn. You know that sigh, you've heard that plenty of times.
It can actually lead to a bit of discouragement, or why doesn't anybody care about me? Or I'm always giving to other people, why don't they give back? And so at times there can be some depression, or sometimes they can be prone to some anxiety. Did I do enough? And things like that. And then finally, there can be the empaths can be prone towards overemphasizing the ideals to the extent that maybe they can get into a little bit into a bit of a bossy mindset. And that is they have such a notion as to how things are supposed to be that they can kind of scold others or judge others because they're not doing what they ought to do.
And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. I am fucking guilty of that. How many times have I come out? Look what he's doing over there. Look what he's doing over there. I can't believe he's just done that. I can't believe she's done that. Do you not think you need to do it like this? Yeah? That's not arrogance. That's not being a smart ass. That is literally explaining what he's just said. It's because you feel that the positive way, if you were like that, and if everyone was like that, the world would be a better place within a fucking click of the fingers. So because you've got someone that is doing the fucking 180 of the click of the fingers, gets you pissed, you go online, and you're like, why has he just done that? But then you know that people resonate with, yeah, why has he just done that? You know that the rub-off for him doing that has meant something negative has happened to him. So it's not like a secret. You know there's truth to that, but you cannot control other people. So I guess an empath has got to learn to just sometimes just fucking keep your business to yourself, you know? Worry about what you can do for other people. Don't worry about how you can control other people to do what you want to do. That makes any sense? I'm like, fucking hell. What a journey this has been.
Sometimes they can get caught up in that kind of thing.
Pardon
Now,
me, French.
See, let's keep in mind that when you have this kind of tendency, you're going to have people in your world who are going to be thinking, what does this mean to me? And so if you have this natural inclination toward the emotional and the helpful and the dutiful side of life, narcissists can just jump and say, well, let me explain to you what your duty is. Your duty is to take care of me, or your duty is to listen to what I had to say, or your duty is to make me feel good, or your duty is to do my bidding. And you have to be super careful, because what the very best ingredients that you have in your personality can turn around and bite you in the backside.
Yep.
So let's keep in mind that empaths need to focus on one huge word, and we've used it in many of our other videos too, and that's that word, boundaries. Making certain that you know what you can do and what you cannot do, what is your responsibility to maintain and what is not your responsibility to maintain, knowing when you're
Bob on,
limits and when you've reached the edge of your limits, and being able to say, I'm finished, I'm done. And then when someone comes along and tries to reel you into their agenda, you can actually say, I understand that's where you're coming from, but I'm at my finishing point. You can go on, but you can do it without me. So let's just underscore this: kindness, helpfulness, servitude, friendliness. Who's going to argue with that?
Who's going to argue with that is a narcissist, because a narcissist will tell you that if you talking like that all the time, everywhere you go, you're a pussy. You know what I'm saying? Because there has to be a bit more hardness about you. There has to be this, I've got to step over someone in order to get where I want to go. So if it means dissing him, if it means driving the bus over them, if it means castigating them over there, means to a goddamn end.
That's a very good way to live life, until those characteristics turn around and are used and misused by the narcissist to their advantage. And so ultimately, you're going to need to stay on your guard. And I say that regrettably, because you'd like to think that others would be able to reciprocate. Stay on your guard and understand, live in the way that's most healthy, but understanding that there are some prowlers out there who might want to take advantage of that. Don't let that happen.
Wow. Right. So let me, before I go anywhere else, come right out of here. This is the guy's channel. Well, it's I think that's his wife as well. Surviving Narcissism. Okay. I will, at the end, I will leave the link to this page, because I think everyone, no matter how much you're outraged about whatever's going on in life, your health and well-being, getting your head around what is going on is just as important as what is going on as well. And can an empath turn into a narcissist? Yeah, I guess so. You know what I mean? Can a narcissist turn into an empath? I guess if they wake the fuck up, yeah, and they realize that actually their traits are making people suffer, you know? So I think there's room for maneuverage on everyone. I think within any so-called movement, there's empaths and survivors. Now, it's whether you've got the actual equilibrium, whether you've got the evenness of the two, because maybe you need the two, maybe you need a bit of narcissism within the fight. But I would like to think positive, true energy and love. That's not being a hippie. That just means going out and killing people with love. And I'll tell you the story. I've had a YouTuber that has got in touch with a very good friend of mine, Tony Bugle. I'm not going to mention any names. Very good YouTuber. Thought he was a good friend. All of a sudden, I seen his ass, right? Because I interviewed Tracy Blackwell. Seen his ass proper, crying, unsubscribed, the whole 9 yards. You all right, babes?
Yeah.
Hey, diddly. Okie doke. Right, see you in a minute. Yep. I've just warned you. Oh, jeez, upset the youngest. So yeah, proper seen his ass. Unsubscribe from my channel, right? And apparently Tracy has put that portion of an interview on her Facebook page, right? And now wants me to go into Facebook to then put a copyright strike on Tracy's page to delete that video. I'm not prepared to do it. I'm not prepared to do it. I'm not prepared to do it for so many different reasons. Firstly, it's no business of anyone who I interview and how I interview. That is the bloody first thing. No one has got the control to tell me how to engage in a conversation with anybody. No fucking body. I don't care how you feel about the individual that I'm going to speak to or not. I'll talk to anyone the way I deem fit. So to me, that is trait number one, narcissism. If you're going to ring a third party up and then try and get Tony Bugle to then get on my case to tell me and give me some shit for something that I thoroughly thought was a positive conversation. There was no apologies on either side. It was two people knowing that we've had a little bit of a moment, but moved beyond it. We both respect each other in our respective fields. Whether we both love each other, no, I wouldn't even say that. And I'm sure Tracy's just doing her own thing. I love her as an individual. I feel so fucking shit for what she's gone through. I don't agree with everything that probably her politics is all about. But having said that, I'm sure she will feel the same way about me. So I don't appreciate people try to do things like that. I've already had another YouTuber that when I was emotionally on the floor on Sunday, then went out and made a couple of videos castigating me. All because this individual feels that I need to call out an individual who I think is a friend, but they don't. Trait of narcissism again. Who the fuck are these people to think that they can start dictating to people how they conduct their channel, who they talk to, how they talk to them, and when they talk to them? Tony is a diamond. Tony is a diamond. But this is going back to the point that Voodoo says. There's too much narcissism, not only on YouTube, but also under the guise of radical Islam, also under the guise of Catholicism, also under the guise of domestic abuse, also under the guise of physical and verbal abuse. It's all one and the same thing. So honestly, I rung Rose today and I'm like, Rose, I don't know whether, honestly, I feel like 40% better within myself, but I feel I've had a proper freaking eureka moment. And I feel like I've been fighting radical Islam, you know, exploitation over there, helping Pag because of what's been going on with Novia, when it all boils down to the N-word. The N-word. The new N-word. Narcissistic behavior that then is garnished with complicit behavior. What the fuck? You know? Kaleidoscope support every time Phil says narcissist, I can't help it. What? Yeah, what? You're a narcissist, Eunice. I'm a narcissist. So you can have some, and you can have some. Anyone wants some. Narcissist, yay. Whoa, you know, Eunice has got a metaphorical narcissist Gatling gun. She's just spraying everyone. But yeah, so, you know, is this going to change anything? That probably not. But I think probably what it will do, it'll give me a much more fresher and more confident outlook. Instead of looking too internal on radical Islam, on the abuse here, on the abuse there, on all the other disparaging things and PC and everything else, I'll just put it under the file. Narcissistic behavior that is, for want of a better term, ruining the lives of a population of people that are crying out to be empaths, but are constantly under the scope of narcissistic behavior. Whether that, I mean, I've been, whilst that was playing, the amount of ladies that come in and actually said, I was with a narcissist for 14 years. One was saying that, and I think it was Paula, I may be wrong. You know, I've had narcissistic traits of this, of that. And you think, this is it. It's narcissism. If you feel that incessantly you're a decent person, you want to do right by people, but yet you're seeing the abuse of kids here, there, fucking everywhere. You're seeing the injustices here, there, everywhere. You're seeing people that haven't got a voice, that are being misappropriated, and I don't mean via gender, I mean via the straw man effect. So they're actually being deemed bad guys when they've actually got some good, and they've actually got points. But the narcissistic behavior won't let that breathe. And someone else brought up a beautiful point. Narcissism needs to breathe. It's like fire. The only way it can breathe is through oxygen. So it's, wow, it's such an explosive kind of mental thought I had. Yes, Nick, what is the, oh, jeez, missed that, Matt. What is the grandiose narcissist? What is a covert narcissist? What is a malignant narcissist? What is a communal narcissist? I think Eunice is off for. No, I think Eunice was actually, that was satire. I'm sure it was satire because she has been. She has been a long-term subber on here, and she has got a good art. I think she was just taking the piss, really. But I may be wrong. She might come on here and say, no, Phil, I do. I am, and I'm not afraid to say it. So, yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. I better plug my phone in quick time. So, yes, basically, is narcissism, before I go, is narcissism more male-orientated or more female-orientated? I had this chat with Rose before, and Rose brought up a brilliant point. You could argue because of the nurturing traits that predominantly is within women, not to say that it's exclusive to women, but predominantly the nurturing side tends to come from women. The emotional side tends to come from women. The nurturing side. So I think, are women, generally speaking, more prone to being empaths? I would think that there's a lot of common sense in that statement. And one thing I did say to Rose is that I feel I get on with anyone, male, women, white, black, fat, thin, whatever, frigging, don't give a shit. It's what's in your heart, content, a character, seriously is. What I do find, I gravitate to women more. It's not out of a sexual, oh, my phone. Yeah, it's not of a sexual nature. I kind of, whether it's an empath to empath, but then again, I can have a beautiful connection with a guy who shows similar traits. So it's not even a sexual thing at all. I guess it's on an emotional connection. So I do. And as you've seen, I've got many YouTube friends that are predominantly women rather than men. Same again, there's no flirtation, there's no kind of sexual vibe on it. It's just literally true emotional connection. Within my life, I probably resonate with women and probably stand in a group of women. Having said that, there's nothing more laborious than sitting around a load of women that are just gassing on about shit. I will say that. And that's not me being a narcissist. That's just me owning it, honestly. But yeah, so I don't know. Is it more of a sex, as in male, female? What's going on there? So by that, when you've got a movement that has got majority men in it, does that mean that you've then got a higher percentage of narcissism in it? I'm not saying then eject the men out and get the women in it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying food for thought. Well, let's think about it. So when you're getting someone that is getting verbally battered online, that is, for all intents and purposes, on this side, that's just as much as a narcissist as someone who is hiding behind an ideology and then wants to come out and say, "Oh, you white cuffers." Yeah, okay, he's using a scripture to back up his fucking narcissism. Now, am I going to blame Islam totally? I don't think you can, and I'll tell you why. Rose again come out with a beautiful story that she was observing a little thing that was going on Twitter with two survivors. I think they were come from Telford. Now, I don't know whether they were both girls, one, but I don't know, I'm not sure. But what I do know is the two distinct positions that each one come from. One come from the position where, because she was abused by predominantly Muslims, she was inherently against Muslims per se, indoctrinated on that thought process, you could say. Whereas the other one come from the position of, well, yes, I was abused, yes, I was groomed, but you know what? Grooming and abuse comes from people per se. So that is more the individual rather than the faith. The faith, the book didn't do it. The book didn't groom him. The individual maybe read the book, but the individual still had to make that act. So you can't then go, well, sorry, it was the fucking Quran. No, it wasn't the Quran. The Quran didn't whisper to you. You decided to take that Quran or them scriptures that probably a lot of Muslims don't adhere to, let's say that. But then because of that, you've then gone out, started calling white individuals kuffers. You've then gone out, started grooming individuals. You're a goddamn narcissist that is under the influence of what is deemed as radical Islam, if you are to profess that every freaking scripture in that book is relevant in today's world. Just as you could say the scriptures that hold people in Catholicism under an element of control. Same shit. When you've got a priest that then wants to pull out a young boy who's a choir boy, knowing that he's full of beauty and innocence, in order to sexually gratify himself, I ain't fuck all to do with Islam. That is narcissistic traits and tendencies that is then ultimately on an innocent soul abusing an empath. Fire being fueled by oxygen. You know? So, anyway, guys, I'm going to get going because I am absolutely filthy. I've got to get myself sorted. And I think there's been a couple of phone calls I need to address as well. So I hope I put myself across there, right? I hope you enjoyed this stream, and I will go back and put the link to this Surviving Narcissism. And if anyone else has got any good recommendations for uplifting and empowering YouTubers that are doing the same thing, maybe making people mentally get themselves on an equilibrium. You know, if you're going to be an activist, you've got to adhere to this, you've got to listen to this, you've got to put this in the mix, because this ultimately affects you, whether you like it or not, whether you can see it or not, you know? Do any Catholics in here now know the history of their church? Ooh, I've been on the narcissist trail for nearly 10 years now. Nah, mother, there's a whole massive community of us, and I'm convinced that they cause the most of the problems in the world. You're right, Lola. You're right. I mean, this is it. Everything boils down to that. Good, how many times have we said it? It's a war between light and dark. It's a war between good and evil, you know, good prevailing over evil. Yeah. So if you break it down into empaths, what an empath is, what the true spirit and what their ideology is in terms of being good with everyone, fucking loving everyone, as opposed to a narcissist that's got nothing but draining the energy. You can even say narcissism inherently is satanic because of what it does. I'm not saying every person who's a narcissist is a Satanist, but what they're doing, they're allowing a satanistic trait within them, and they're allowing it to flow. They're allowing it to flow out of their body and manifest and break someone down. Now, whether that means it verbally, whether that means physically, whether that means just suppressing your fucking wife or girlfriend, whether that means grooming someone, whether that means raping them, it can come under all them different categories. And oh shit, my favorite number is 22, and I've got 22 thumbs up. I'm telling you that this is another video that's going to come up about numerology as well, because it's battering my head seeing the number 22 everywhere, seeing the bleeding number 22 everywhere. My birthday's on the 22nd of May. I got into this because of what happened on the 22nd of May, which was my birthday, which was a bombing that happened at the Adriana Grande concert. 22 people died, and everywhere I fucking look, instead of seeing dead people, I'm seeing 22. And I'm like, what? I see other numbers as well, but it's like that number kind of goes boom, you know? I don't know what it means. 22 haircut, yeah. Get a lotto ticket, Phil. Mate, I'm telling you, I need to do it. Get on the lotto. 22, 22, 22, 22, 22. Oh no, 2, 22, 222, 2,222. Oh, Club of Rome runs the CIA. Yeah, well, these are all the big institutions that are what traits is underlining from all these big conglomerates, all these big institutions, yeah? All you warmongers, all the people that want to sell arms, all you people that fund proxy armies for wars all over the place, what is the underlining trait? Fucking narcissism. That's it. Drop the mic, red pill Phil, full of dust, going for a bath, and feeling thirsty. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Lisa Sammy. Yes, Lisa Sammy. And you're saying hello to Nikki. Nikki, Lisa Sammy, Nikki. So nice one, guys. I will be back. Just going to take a little bit of a breather. I'm still working in the background. Still getting my head around this shit. More importantly, I'm still trying to seek the purpose of my true existence. So what I will say is, I did say that my next video is going to be an interview with Yvonne. I am going to do that interview with Yvonne. However, because Yvonne Black has now reported that matter that I spoke about to the police, it's become a police issue. So I want to kind of put that on hold until that's concluded a bit. Yvonne kind of feels the same way. So it may be in a few weeks' time, Nikki, the interview with Nikki and I might come up next. So we'll see. There might be another upload. But to be fair, I'm just happy where I am. I'm just going to kind of muesli about and just keep observing and keep resonating. So thank you very much to everyone for tuning in, for your support, for your love. Seriously, I'm going to pass that straight back out to you. If you're a survivor, if you're a non-survivor, I've got love and respect for you. And kudos for still being here. Kudos for fighting against narcissism. That should be. I should change this channel. Empaths versus narcissism. I love you all, even the pissing narcissist. See you later, guys. God bless.